look, man, and make sure it is showing that we are streaming. Sometimes the software will say it's live, but then other times it's a little minor delay. So let's just make sure before we dive into the intro and such. Still awaiting. Showing that we're live. There we go. See? Finally shows on YouTube that we're live. So what's up, folks? For you guys who may have been sitting in there a few minutes while I had the posting and the advertisement, I guess you would call it, that the show was coming. So what's up to you guys and anybody else who will be coming in, and anybody else who will see this on the rebound. Obviously, you will see it in quote unquote non-real time. So you'll see everything I just said, whether it's intro or not. And forgive me for looking up. I'm confusing myself. My other camera is above my webcam. I'm so used to looking at my DSLR when I do my other show. But for some reason, it doesn't pick up in Zoom, so my webcam is here. So you guys probably saw me talking up here. My bad. So I got to remember right here, and it's a little blue light telling me that it's on. So what's up, everybody, man? We've been away for a couple weeks. Had a couple things going on. Smitty's wife's birthday last week. I think it was, last week. So, of course, him and his wife had a great time. Show wasn't that important, guys, to be honest with you, man. You got to make sure your wife is happy, especially during these times. It's all about family. And as you can see, Smitty doing like he always does, being a great father, even here tonight. Got his little man with him. So when family things come up, guys, and we can't make the show, it just is what it is. Again, we're not professionals. We're not First Take. We don't get paid to do this, so y'all have to bear with us sometimes if we don't deliver each and every week. But anyway, enough of that, man. How's everybody doing? I hope everybody's great. I'll throw it to Smitty here really quick, man, and just to say, how's your week been? He's already told me, but anything he want to share to you guys before we get into it, and before I throw it to him really quick, just so y'all know roughly what we'll talk about tonight. A couple things. We definitely want to talk about the Madden 21 teaser trailer. We're going to get into that. Also want to talk about the next-gen consoles. Now supposedly there's an earlier release date than most people expected. And we'll talk a little bit about The Last Dance, man. Me and Smitty been wanting to dive into that for a while. The last 2 episodes are upcoming. I know some people had the link. They were able to watch the whole thing. I didn't. The only thing I ask for you guys, man, don't spoil anything that's worth spoiling that you may have already seen in 9 and 10. Don't do that, please. Let me see it on Sunday. That's all I ask. But anyway, we'll give our thoughts quickly on, what we've seen so far. Some revealing things in my eyes. But that's all I got for that. But Smitty, man, real quick, how was your week? How's everything been? How's your mental health during this coronavirus? Whatever you want to say.
Oh no, man, I've been good, man. Can't complain. What's going on to everybody? Been went on a little vacation in the midst of all this and everything, for my wife's birthday and everything. So have fun with that. And of course, keeping everything the social distancing and all that. We're not one of those people that are like, oh, they opened up a few things. Hey, let's all go out. Like, no. It wasn't about that action. So I had to make sure we were all safe and everything. But we did have a good time. Everything, we had fun, and everybody's been good. Everybody's been good. So just being safe and taking all the appropriate measures that we need to. So yeah, but yo, whoa, as you see, little man here is being extra hyperactive. You know what I'm saying? But as he should be. Say what's up. Say what's up. So, but no, man. I mean, other than that, man, yo, just ready to break some good bread. Talk about this little bit of Madden. I see my man Dez out here. I see my man Dez out here. My man, that's our guy. And yeah. So, I'm just ready to talk about these topics, man.
Yeah, man. Dez said, "Got to give you one spoiler. The documentary is hard, and the soundtrack and editing alone is reason to watch." No, Dez. Yeah. I've seen it. I've seen it all the way. I've seen 1 through 8. What I was saying is I don't want anybody to spoil something that may be happening in 9 and 10. I mean, we all know the story. But I don't. There's a couple nuggets, like some things that I'm gonna talk about that we found out about Scotty. Some of these things I forgot about, because I tell people, well, I'll wait till we dive into it, but I'll just sprinkle this little piece. We were like younger then. I wasn't paying attention. The same way I feel about, say, Madden or even like my Steelers. I was younger then. I wasn't this analyst type of guy back then. So some of that stuff I forgot. I didn't. So with some of the things that they were saying about Pippen, I was like, oh man, like. So that's what I mean. Anything in 9 and 10 that's something to that effect, don't spoil it. But yeah, I've been watching. I've seen all of them up until now. I just got to finish watching 9 and 10, because what I was saying was there's people out there who got the link, got to connect to see. They've seen the whole thing. I didn't want to do it like that. I wanted to kind of enjoy it with the people each Sunday. So that's it. You know what, Smitty, man? We might as well let's just dive into Madden first, man.
Okay.
That's probably going to take the bulk of the time. I mean, we usually do it in the reverse order. When there's something light to talk about, we get that out of the way. But we might as well dive into the elephant in the room first. That'll probably roll us into next-gen consoles, and then we'll, go into the last dance. Here's my thoughts really quick. And I'll be semi-brief with it, because a lot of you guys probably saw the video I put out, and those are my thoughts. So I definitely want you guys to hear more of Smitty's thoughts, and then me and Smitty are bound to have thoughts off of each other. It's this simple to me. It's funny, man, because Smitty and I, in the past, we have been able to, a lot of times we've told Azure, man, don't read so much into the trailer. Because Azure used to be, and no, I'm not saying he shouldn't have, but Azure used to, Lord, man, he'd tear a trailer up because he knew. And let me preface it with this. Azure knew that they could produce a better trailer, right? He knew that they could produce a better trailer to showcase the things that guys like us wanted to see. And this was probably the case for at least 17, 18, and 19. Not so much 20. By that time, Azure was like, forget it, man. But we talking about maybe even 16. He knew that there were things that our crowd wanted to see. And we had to always remind them, well, the trailer is the fluff, man. So now that Smitty and I haven't necessarily been involved up close and personal in a while now. We weren't involved in Madden 20 in terms of in person. Obviously, we haven't been involved for Madden 21. So now I'm looking at the trailer kind of like, However, whatever approach you want to take with the trailer, we can all agree on this. Dez actually hit on it in his comment. It's almost laughable, man. And like Dez says, is it an inside joke that they continue to use some of the same animations in these trailers? Because Smitty, I'm not gonna take Smitty's thunder, but he brought up a point about, let's just say something we've seen before when we were talking offline. I'm gonna let him share that with you guys. But it's just like I said in the trailer, that broken tackle animation, we've seen that 100 times, and that's what Dez was alluding to. It's like, am I supposed to be excited by what I saw? And I had to come on here, and I did my little reaction video to tell you guys what it could potentially be. That's why I always like to preface it like that. And I said that I wasn't going to break it down like I know others have. I know other people have broken that thing down to the very last compound. I'm not doing that with the trailer. At this point, just full disclosure, I told you guys I'm at a wait and see when it comes to Madden. Me and Smitty and Azure, we're OGs of this thing. We've been doing this for a long time, and I'm not calling us OGs to pat ourselves on the back. I'm just stating the facts. We've been doing this for a long time. We've been in that building. At this point, I know the real problem above the dev level. So forgive me if I don't bicker and scream and kick and spit and all of that like others do. I'm at a point now that I know what it is. So now I'm like this. This is what I'm literally doing. Show me what you got. Because I know what it's going to take. I know it's going to take a culture change from up here to come down to about here and then get down to here to where the devs are in order for the game to go there. So my approach is different. So I just want to put that out there because I know some people are still new to myself and Smitty. So if anybody who are not familiar with our history, that's why you don't hear me kicking and yelling and, yeah, man, sucks. I'm not wasting my energy on that because I know exactly where the issue lies. So anyway, as far as the trailer, and I said I wasn't going to be long, and I went on a whole different rant there, but so I'm looking for the potential. What did I see? Same animation, but what I was focusing on was like, how did the animation happen? Did it look drawn together? Did player movement look any better? Did the physical aspect of the animation look better? How did Mahomes turn up feel when they showed the feet? And I felt like they, again, we know how Madden works. We know how them people in the marketing kind of work. They're showing us those feet for a reason. So I'm like, okay, are you trying to show us that you're focusing more on foot planning, perhaps, even though you couldn't see it really in that example? It did semi-look like the feet were hitting the ground a little more, a little more like that instead of the glide. Looked like it. I don't know. I won't know until we play the game. So I said, all right, now let me see how he changes direction. Didn't really see an awkward movement in the change of direction. Y'all know how sometimes they pop up. It looked a little smoother, but I had to caution myself because, as most of you guys would know who still play Madden, there are times in Madden 20 that the player movement looks phenomenal. But then all of a sudden you'll get a herky-jerky movement or you'll get a pop. But there's certain times, think about what I'm saying to you guys, especially if you're not holding down right trigger, there's certain times when those cuts and everything look crispy. So I can't even get excited about that because it could just be they may have just captured the right moment. The one thing that I did notice, Smitty, in chat that I don't recall seeing, and I could be wrong, the way Mahomes turned and he didn't really waste any motion, and then he leaned into that tackle. Now that caught my eye. I don't recall seeing that in Madden. Not to that degree. You have seen the two-man animations where it looks like a guy's bracing, but I don't recall seeing that. And again, guys, I could be wrong. I could be totally forgetting since what? When did Madden 20 come out? August? I could be forgetting that those animations actually exist, and I just haven't seen it in a while. But y'all know how Madden does. Haven't you guys played Madden, and every once in a while you'll see an animation like, oh, what was that? Then you don't see it again. Smitty and I have seen plenty of them, and even in previous Maddens in studio. And literally, I'm texting Smitty or Azure and like, yo, if y'all seen that animation? Nope. Where's that animation? I ain't seen it. Then it'd be like the summer. Oh man, I just saw it. And y'all know that to be true. Shout outs to help me out, Smitty, real quick. Shout outs to my man. What's my man that does the videos that shows you how to possession catch and all that?
The coach
something.
Dang. I gotta look him up.
I can't remember his name.
Yeah.
Coach something. But anyway, y'all might have seen his videos. Watch his videos. Look at them beautiful animations that trigger sometimes when you're doing a certain type of catch. That he shows you how to trigger them. I mean, receivers pushing off and getting in position to make the catch. But we've seen these things trigger. Smitty knows when we was at Scans Desk that time, man, I still ain't seen some of those interactions. Every once in a blue moon, you'll see it. Like the one when it's a fight all the way to the ground and then a second after that the ball rips out. You rarely see that. And we were seeing it often when we were at EA Studio. But anyway.
real quick. It's Coach DC 404.
There you go, Coach DC 404.
Yeah, he shows, even with all the turmoil that's in Madden, he shows you fundamental execution and with all various facets of the game.
Absolutely. So I say all that to say this, man. That one part of the trailer I don't recall seeing, and I'm going to definitely check the chat in a minute and see if you guys responded to that. I don't recall seeing that. That looked a little like it was one of these. Literally, when I was watching the trailer, like, oh, what was that? It caught me like that. I literally sat up because this is how I watch Madden trailers, just like this. I'm not lying to y'all. When I seen that, I was like, oh. I went closer to the computer, like, oh, what was that? My man leans in, right? And then he gets hit. Physics looked like it was being respected the way it was supposed to be. Extends the ball. I haven't seen that in Madden. Question is, was that a triggered animation? Meaning, it's kind of tricky with how I said it in the video because I kind of contradicted my point. What I mean when I say was it a triggered animation was it a button press and then it allows you to do that, or was it contextual? That's what I wonder. Because either way, if you're controlling the guy, and obviously, we don't know if that was CPU or what they captured. But even if you're controlling a guy and you press the dive button, here's the difference. What I mean is, one scenario could be you hit the button to reach, right? Another scenario could be you just hit dive, and based on the context, the contextual awareness, he has the wherewithal to reach because he knows the pylon is there or the first down marker is there, i.e. backbreaker. So that's my question. Was that an AI thing where, yeah, I told him to dive, but he doesn't just do the stupid dive. He literally said, oh, that's the goal line, and I'm going to stretch out. That remains to be seen. So those two things caught my eye. And like I said in the trailer, man, in the video I did, I'm going to be looking to see what matters in Madden 21. Let me put that out there. Before anything else, before anything new, SimFBallCritic, as y'all know, I hate talking about myself in third person, but what I would be looking for with the critic hat on, how are the physics? How are the one-to-one animations? How is overall player movement? Meaning, not just foot planting, but the things that me and Smitty have repeatedly said. Relative positioning. That means, as y'all look at my little Steelers, little shot box, little speaker here, it just happens to be in front of me. That means if the ball is here, and I am the receiver, let me put it here so y'all can see it. The ball is here and I'm the receiver, and the defender is here. I should be able to at least attempt to get this ball, possibly catch it. What I don't want to see happen is, and he gets the ball. Those are the things I'm looking for in Madden 21. Before I'm looking for new features, before I'm looking to what they did in franchise, even though I'm going to be looking at that. Before I look at the new presentation, before I look at the new pretty, glossy paint of the new consoles, I want to know, how is this game living and breathing? That's all I want to know. What happened, Smitty? Somebody said something funny, didn't it?
No, laughing at you, man.
Oh. That's all I want to know, man.
Paint on the console.
All that gloss, that's all it is, man, because I saw a video where somebody broke down. It did, yeah, the crowd looked, it's in the distance, but that did look a little...
That's...
upgraded, but that don't mean nothing.
Yeah.
How's the game playing? And this is the last thing I'll say, and then I'm going to let Smitty go with it. The last thing I said in the video, if I recall, is what's going to matter to me the most is if this is a refined Madden.
Right.
And let me explain what I'm saying. Y'all have heard me and Smitty say this for years, and I know some of y'all are going to say, man, we had to wait. Let's just say if it is. We had to wait until Madden 21 to finally At this point, I don't care when it happens. I just want whatever that's in the game now. Imagine if every single element in Madden 20 is working as intended. Think about that for a second. Every single feature in Madden 20, trenches, DB and wide-out interactions, foot planting, tackling, all of these things are working where it's based off of physics, weight, momentum, leverage, relative position. If let's just say they advertise that for Madden 21, this is what you're going to get in this game. It wasn't about all of the new features. It was about making football feel the intensity.
Yeah.
Feel next level. I'll be cool with that. I'm going to be honest with you because that's what's missing.
Yeah.
So if the next gen console is allowing you to bring that to fruition, great. But then there's the gray area. What about PS4 and Xbox? What about the current console? See, that we're gonna get into that, but that's the part that's a little, I don't know, but that's how I feel. Madden 21 needs to be that game that Rex always dreamed of doing. You know, when he said, "Look, man, I always tried to. My whole thing was let's fix the bugs," and I was basically told you can't sell bug fixes. So at this point, Madden needs that. They need the basic fundamentals of players interacting, players running, physical mass, physics. They need all that stuff before I'm worried about anything else new. So that's just where I'm at with it, man. What you got for him, Smitty?
All right. So, I mean, I'm with you on all that. Okay. Now, this is the thing. First, this is a caveat off of your point about the crowd. This is the thing. Are their sidelines better than all pro football?
Oh, yeah. Now, that part of presentation I will be looking for.
Right. You know what I'm saying?
On next gen.
That's definitely number one. Because remember, what were we told? Living Worlds sideline is living, breathing, and all that and everything. I talked about that a few weeks ago, or a month or so. Remember that, guys. They said on next gen Living Worlds. Now we're talking about Feel Next Level, and we're still looking to see if they did that. So there's that. Now, the thing look, the point that I made, and I made this point on Twitter about the trailer, was, well, okay, you see Pat Mahomes break that tackle. We've seen that animation already. So it's like, how can you truly say Feel Next Level when you're showcasing an old animation that we didn't see trillions of times on multiple generations? You know, at least these past two generations of consoles, 360, 360, PS3, and this current one here. So there's that. Secondly, you also come here, buddy. Come here. Sit here. Also, the other thing to understand too, guys, is that when it comes to Pat Mahomes doing that, well, not necessarily the truck, but when he dove for the pylon and it was a hit that happened, it was a two-man interaction.
Yeah.
That's the thing. What if, like what Sim said, just like with the catches, I want to see that separation. If he coincidentally is trying to tackle him and he goes for the dive and he's hit, I'm perfectly okay with that.
I would love that.
I'm perfectly okay with that. Animation separation, positional tackling, hitting, all of that stuff, and perfectly fine with that. But if you're going to make that part of a two-man sequence, like let's say my defender's at the 5-yard line, let's say I'm trailing, Mahomes is there, the safety is trailing him down, and he's running him down or whatever, and he gets to the 5-yard line and Mahomes is at the 2 or whatever, and I hit the tackle button, and all of a sudden he just gets suctioned in to pull that off, done. It's already a lost cause because that's not authentic. You're not showcasing true separation. You're not showcasing the organic dynamic of football by doing stuff like that. And once again, what's the point of ratings? What's the point of positioning mattering? What's the point of weight, momentum? What's the point of having speed and acceleration? What's the point of players' height and all that stuff and everything to be a part of the game? What's the point of physical statures being part of the game when it all comes down to the dice roll of a two-man animation determining what that outcome is going to be no matter what you do? That's going to be a problem. Okay? Which Sim did point out, basically. Yeah. Now, this is the other stuff to understand here. See, we always, you've heard us say on here, man, we want to get away from having these same kind of talks about Madden and everything. But we always have these kind of discussions because our intelligence is being insulted. If you look at this, what did they say? What did they say? Next level, right? This is next level. Let's go back to Madden 25. And like I said, I busted out the article on Ignite a while back. But remember the trailer when they said this is, I think they said this was in-game or in-engine. But the bottom line is, remember all that gameplay they shown. You saw Adrian Peterson fighting through 2-3 defenders, just legs churning, trucking, fighting through. Where's that gameplay at? I never saw it. Yeah. Remember Marshawn Lynch when he pushed off the block? You seen how he made that angular turn when he was changing direction? Feet planted, body was on an angle, turning, trying to run. Where's that animation at? I never saw it. You had RG3. Now, think about both trailers with this point. RG3, remember when that trailer had ended? No, I'm sorry. You had Russell Wilson and RG3. Because Russell Wilson was scrambling, and then you had RG3 do the dive. And he dove for the pylon, except he just did a straight dive and, did a somersault, did a roll into the end zone. What did Pat Mahomes do? You see what I'm saying? He did a similar action. He fights through a defender, dives for the pylon. And what did they say? This is next gen, next level, right? It's the same thing they just said to us. They said the same thing to us back in 2013. This is next gen. This is the next generation. This is the next level, right? Ignite, living worlds, human, what was it?
Human
AI,
intelligence.
Human intelligence. There it is. Human intelligence. Players thinking and diagnosing and reading situations and all that. They told us this is what it was going to be. And according to Sim's video, where he used All Pro Football, and I mean, look, this is not about perfection. This is just the bottom line point. You got a 12-year-old game outperforming you. That's period. In terms of secondary play, when it comes to decision making, is APF perfect? Heck no. No one said it's perfect. No. None of these games are perfect. None. The best Madden has flaws. So Nick's missing me with that. It's not about that. The bottom line here, though, is that you see legit diagnosing happening when it comes to football in all-pro football, done better than what we have, done better, and with, I will say, done better in various instances with a lot more consistency than what we have today in Madden. You could go back to old Maddens on PS2 and still make that same point. Why? Yep. You had no post, and I'm not going to go into a rant, but I just got to say this point. You had no post-transactional revenue on PS2 and Xbox, but the AI is sharper there than what we got now. And you make hundreds of millions of dollars every single year off of Madden franchise alone. So there's no way that you're going to be able to just get away with that. And when you look at, and also think about this, because, I'm the guy that'll go through the timeline and look at old Maddens and stuff like that, and look at these old games and be like, hey, remember when? And look at where we're at now. Madden 13. If you go back to that game, and especially the articles, when they talked about what their goal was and what they're trying to do and how they wanted to change the game and all that good stuff, they said no more two-man animations. They said the play doesn't end when you make contact with that defender. They talked about weight and momentum and size and all that stuff mattering. See what I'm saying? And it was like they were trying to give us that next gen game. Like they were trying to set themselves on the road to really give us that organic experience.
Yep.
Now, clearly it wasn't perfect in Madden 13, but the bottom line is, how do you go from the problems that we had, when we were first making these videos, late 2008, 2009, whatever. But the bottom line is, how do you go from that problem that we had with the canned animations, the static getting pulled in and suction this, suction that, weight being negated, ratings not mattering, blah, 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 to trying to give us a real-time physics game to some degree? They didn't achieve it. They never achieved it fully. So let's get that correct. That was never fully achieved. To a game now where two-man static animations run rampant. Now, do you have your real-time physical moments that happen? Oh yeah, it happens at times with tackles and stuff like that, but mainly with tackles. It is not about, it's all about two-man animation sequencing. It's not about organic gameplay. Having a 6'5" receiver going up against a 5'8" defensive back, it all comes down to what the game decides to happen on your behalf. That's it.
Yep.
It is not about positioning. It's not about any of that stuff. The ball and the two players involved being separately tangible does not count. That's where they're at. They literally sold it. It was like they basically pulled that Ocean's 11 kind of move. It was like, we're gonna give you the sense, an actual product to show that we are going to give you that game. It's not here yet, but we're gonna give you that. Only to say, well, we're going to innovate, but we're not going to innovate the way that we told you we were going to innovate. We're just going to let enough time pass by so that way we could tell you we're going a different direction, but you're going to accept it. You see what I'm saying? They pulled a okie doke. And you got dudes online that'll sit up and be like, yo, man, let me tell you, man, Madden 20 is that deal. It's like, no, it's not. No, it's not. Man, look at the passing in that game. All right, let's throw some fade routes. Set the ball on the 5-yard line.
Yeah.
You take Madden 20, and I'll get all pro. Matter of fact, I'll take it even better. To make it even more of an embarrassment, I'll bust out Madden 04. I'll go back to 2003. You operate in 2019. I'll go 2 console generations back, and let's do it. I'll embarrass you. I'll show you how easy you could throw that fade route, and you'll sit up there having all kinds of difficulty. Man, well, no. You're gonna sit up here and you're gonna try and finagle a way to say, hey, well, technically, I threw it in the end zone and my receiver caught it, so that counts, right? No, throw a fade route like you see it in the NFL. How come the pass trajectories are there in a 2003 production, but in 2019 you gotta finagle it? What you gotta finagle? The same building made it. Tiburon made the dang on game. Why you gotta finagle it? We're gonna make linebackers not jump as high, huh? No, that ain't fixing the problem, man. We're gonna touch the arc up a little bit, but we're gonna make defenders their ability to jump less. No. Mm-mm. No.
You don't get me started on that.
Hey, man. You know what I'm saying?
At least if because playing in the league. At least if I shouldn't get there, just allow it to respect my button press. Let me see him do something or try to. Don't just not give me anything. Because in real time, unless you look at the replay, it looks like to you that you were close enough to get to the ball. So that's a double negative. But man.
Sure. Gotta be quiet though, Haley. Shh. Hey, so that's what I'm saying, Sim. It's like they need to fix that. And it's like, how can you be watching all this football and then not have that fixed? Like Sim said earlier, we know. See, when I comment, understand this. When I comment on stuff and I tweet stuff, it's a emotionless tweet. It's like I'm commenting just to comment because that's just my demeanor. I see a discussion going on. Shh, quiet. If I'm having a discussion and I see a discussion going on and I feel like jumping in it, I'll jump in it. But I already know what the situation is. I know what it's not the in-house talent that's the problem here. It's not. Stop.
Yeah.
It's literally
people keep saying
people
that
above them, and it's like they're the low-hanging fruit. So it's easy to get at them. See, it's just like somebody getting in the chat here and taking shots at us or something like that. See, we're low-hanging fruit. It's easy to do that. You know what I mean?
Ahead.
So it's like whatever.
Go ahead, shoot.
Yeah.
I got a bulletproof vest on.
That doesn't matter. You know, at the end of the day, I'm like, you can take the shot at me. It doesn't matter. You can take the shot at the dev. It doesn't matter there either because they know what the situation is. That's why the smack talk and all that, it doesn't bother Clint. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't bother him. But, you know, that's what we try to tell y'all at the end of the day, how the situation is and how this stuff actually works. They have bosses and they have execs and they got people over them that have pull. It's like A-Dub could go to all the coaching clinics he wants, but if his bosses don't let him do his job the way he truly can, the game will never be the way that it needs to be. That's just it. Daddy, why so quiet? Be quiet, please. Okay. So, anyways, my daughter came in the room too. So, but yeah. So it's like we've seen Madden. We've seen what Madden 25. You know, Madden 25 was about. We saw those trailers, okay, and we saw what that was bringing to the table and what they were not bringing to the table. So, hey guys, shh, quiet. I keep on telling you. Stop, y'all getting.
They like whatever, Dad.
But anyway, all right. So, anyways. Now, the point that I'm trying to make, I'm sorry. But no, the thing is, the devs are only able to do but so much because of what they're limited to do, right? EA has to market a product, even though we know what the deal is. When it comes to this game of Madden, okay, it's not hitting. And the thing is, they are, like I've said before about Madden. Madden is a game that EA, they're in a league. It's like if you talk about football, EA is in a league where they're the only team and they can go 0-16 and still win the Super Bowl. You see what I'm saying? That's where they're at this point. That's what they literally can do. So, what can we So what can we do at the end of the day, other than just other than just not playing or playing old games? Like, there's got to be a factor to make them want to do it. Now, I'm not saying that to say that this 2K signing is going to make that happen. I don't know. We'll have to wait and see what happens with that. We don't even know what kind of game is going to come out. Okay, but the checklist or the check marks, the things that we're going to be looking at is like what Sim said. We're going to be looking at this game for what it's bringing to the table from what we have seen. Is it going to give us a good game? Yes or no? Is it going to give us a game with that actually is going to set a new precedent or standard? Yes or no? Is it just going to be a game that gives us a lot more of the same thing? Yes or no? Like, and see, the sad part is about Madden, it's not something intricate. It's very easy to see because the game has been that basic for so long. You know what I'm saying? And what's so sad is, and like my man 2K Football Now said, just to round out my point, you've heard me especially, multiple games, FIFA, NHL, especially if you take from those games and you see the animations that are in those games, you want whiteout DB interaction, play FIFA. You know what I'm saying? Look at how players interact organically. When it comes to players bumping and jostling and everything, how they organically interact. It's a beautiful thing. Very beautiful thing. You know what I'm saying? Like, I wish if they could get that organic, seamless play, that would be awesome. Just like what C-Mad said earlier. It's okay. Look, even FIFA has dice rolls, but you can't see it. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, every game has dice rolls for the most part.
Yeah. Like, it's hard for you to tell though. It's literally blatant in Madden, but in FIFA you can't really tell. You can't tell because the ball physics feel that clean. The way the players animate, the way they run into each other, make contact, subtle contact, all that stuff. Whether hard, whether it's extremely physical or light grazing conservative contact, it's all there. And it's like, how come Madden won't just holler at those guys? Y'all on the same tech platform. Y'all need to look, how you got this award-winning studio and everything like that, and you don't have it? That's the whole thing. I would be, man. Even with this Corona situation and everything going on, I would be like, if I'm EA, I would get folk tested and be like, are you good? Are you good? Are you okay to travel? All right, bet. We're gonna get I would send for those people, get them to Canada, get them in that mocap studio and work. I would make sure they're cleared, and I would get those people in that mocap building, and we would be working. You know what I'm saying? Like, no question, we would be working. Okay, period, point blank. And somebody had asked about the 2K animations. Even with 2K20 in their system, and I'll say this and throw it back to Sim. Even with 2K's animations, is it problematic at times? Oh, it is. But it has a lot of fluidity in terms of how it works. Yeah. The animations make a lot of sense for a good amount of the time. Like, I mean, I'll be driving to the hole clear as day. I won't say fully uncontested, but the defender is not right there. And then it's like they get there as I'm in midair going up for a layup, and it's like, bang, an animation will trigger as I'm laying it up that makes sense along with the contact and the direction the contact came from. And that's the whole thing. If you're going to have static animations in your system, you got to have animations to account for tons of instances, which is what 2K does. Mike Wang said it with his interview he did like a while back or whatever, when he was talking to him about live and all that. He was like, we literally have people come in every single month for a week, and we just have them play basketball. Like 5v5, we just mocap all of it. And and it's like, you could tell because they got situations that
they got animations for everything.
Yeah, so it's like,
and sometimes it'll get a little crazy, but I mean, that's video games.
Yeah, it's a video game. That's where the video game part comes in.
Yeah,
it's not people get it backwards and say, well, it's a video game. What are you expecting it to be realistic? It's like, but that's the point. They promote realism. They promote the authenticity. Like I said on Twitter, EA, and I took out, and let me say this because I just thought about this, Sim. I'm sorry.
Oh, yeah, go ahead.
Think about Zan. Shout out to Zan. Much respect to him. I don't want him thinking that any shade was thrown, because I did quote his tweet and made a comment, and I basically said, because Zan had a clip where he was talking about, he posted quotes about Walter Payton and he was playing Ultimate Team, and he did that juke move where they're running, and then all of a sudden they're able to turn sideways on a dime, and they're running in a circle. Some extremely unrealistic animation. But he posted a tweet saying, talking about how Walter Payton loves to dance and all that stuff and everything. Like he did something legit. And I wasn't saying anything to slight Zan. It's not his fault. EA allows him to run with his player like that. So I'm not blaming him for what he did. If EA is making a game where you can do that stuff, I'm not going to blame him for it. That's EA's fault. So nothing to do with him. But I was saying that to say that if EA, y'all were so quick to jump in front of when 2K made their announcement, you were super quick to jump up. Oh, we're the only ones that can make simulation NFL football. I'm like, so why don't you actually simulate biomechanical movement, player movement? Since you want to be the done data, you're the only one. Since you're so quick to make sure you make that distinction, why don't you actually do it then? Actually make the game the way it's supposed to be made then. If that's the case,
there you go.
Just saying. You know what I mean? Like, don't do that. That's why I just looked at. I use this clipping as an example, but it's got nothing to do with sliding Zan. Like, there's nothing wrong with what Zan was doing. I'm like, EA is allowing this play. Just like dudes be tweeting us and showing us clips of various, mechanical things that are wrong with the game, and it's just like, it's just a shake your head thing. Like, hey, like that's on them. They supposed to do better. Like, seriously. So, but go ahead, Sim, man. I just want to get that out.
Man, it's a couple things in the chat I wanted to address. I wrote them down. I'm going to try to be brief with each point. I saw Ray, shout outs to Ray, he said you can't compare Madden to FIFA. It's like, I can't remember exactly what he said. He said it's like comparing, let me see if I can find it. 1 second. He says it's like comparing a guitar to a bass. But I'm going to be brief with this. This is the thing I think a lot of people miss when we compare games. It's something I said a long time ago, how I feel like EA Sports should work. Let's say all of us here in the chat, right? There's 49 of y'all watching, roughly. Me and Smitty and Azure, right? So we a staff of about 52. We create this company called Simulation Sports. What we do is we try to replicate every sports game that we can. We got football, basketball, hockey, soccer, baseball, whatever floats your boat. And if we get enough requests, we might even throw rugby in there. We might even throw, whatever we can come up with. Wrestling. Here's the thing that myself and Smitty and Azure, let's just say we're the company heads, the CEOs or whatever. Here's the thing I think that we all would bring to the table. At least this would be my opinion. All right, man, I think this is how we need to build our game. All of our games should have the same foundation. The way the players move should be the same in all of our games. Every single one of them. The way they interact should be the same in terms of physics, physical mass, leverage, weight, momentum, whatever else you want to throw in there, inertia. This is going to be the same in all of our games. That's from jump. You know what else? Along with gameplay, and this is just, an added piece. And the reason why I would say this, because this is something I said at EA. Guess what else would be the same? Franchise mode. When we decide that we're going to have a franchise and a career mode for our games, we would build them the same. So when you're playing our football game, it's a football franchise. When you're playing basketball, it's a basketball franchise. But the features and fundamentals are there, meaning the way you scout, training system, injuries, the wear and tear, scouting, all these type of things would be the same. The only thing that would change is it would be for the respective sport. I wish EA Sports worked like that. And they claim that's kind of what they want to do with their games. That was the whole thing. That was the pitch. Remember about 2 years ago, Frostbite will allow everybody to be on the same running engine. So the longhand way of me saying this, when we compare Madden and FIFA, that's what me and Smitty are talking about. We're not talking about the amount of players, the root. We're not talking about any of that. We're just talking about animation quality, physical attributes, player interaction. There's no reason why we couldn't compare that to any of EA Sports games. How your players interact, how their physical attributes play out on field, how they move, how they think as far as artificial intelligence, that should be across the board. So again, we all are giving our opinions, but I don't think I can agree with that statement saying you can't compare them when you are comparing the things that we're talking about. That's all we're talking about. Because, we've had people tell us even in the past, FIFA ain't even as simulation as you guys think. I'm like, no. I wouldn't know. I don't know the sport. I'm just talking about those metrics. How their animations look and play out and interactions and ball physics. That's what I'm talking about. Same thing we can say about NHL. How those players interact and how they move and animate and puck physics. That's all we're saying. That should be in Madden. The way the trenches interact should look something like how players interact in these other sports games. DB and Waddle interactions. The football. That's all we're saying. Another point. I saw somebody say that EA would never be able to produce real AI, zone play, blocking, etc., etc. I have a very quick comment to that. It's really not my job, and I'm not going to make it my job to force people to have their own opinion. Force people to have the opinion that I share. Some of you guys are always going to think it's at the dev level. And you know what? I'm going to let y'all have that. I don't think I could ever convince you. I don't think Smitty will ever convince you. You guys are welcome to believe what you want to believe. All we try to do as being people who've been behind the curtain and still have close relationships with developers, we just try to share the knowledge. Me and Smitty and Azure, we're never the type of guys that know what we say we got to be right. Y'all should know that about us. Y'all should know that about us individually when y'all watch our individual stuff. We ain't like that. We're not the end all be all. We ain't forcing y'all to watch our podcast. No. I'm just trying to share with you guys the knowledge that we have acquired. That's it. So when I tell you, it ain't a talent level. I'm trying to tell you now, coverage, they have every single concept known to man in that building. Believe that. They know everything about coverage, zone play, match coverage, concepts, terminology, lingo, whatever. Special, palms, all of that. Kia knows it. They got it. Up here, as y'all probably hear my son yelling like a fool. I don't know if y'all can hear him, but they got it. The problem is they're not given the time to develop these things. Listen, I'm going to give y'all a quick peek behind the curtain. Real small, because I don't want to mess nothing up. I talk to guys all the time from EA. Quite often I've talked to a dev and they'll say, man, if I appreciate the video you made. Because now, obviously I know that's how you feel, but now I can physically take this and show it to my boss and be like, see, I told you. That stuff that I said I wanted to do, look, the community wants it too. Guys, this literally happens. Smitty has been there when a dev has told us after a post-mortem, Jesus, I can't talk. Right here, tell us, man, pull us, hold on real quick, guys. I got to yell at my son. He's being too loud. Can y'all hear him? Y'all let me know if y'all can hear him. He's screaming at the top of his lungs.
Not really.
Yeah. So anyway, yeah, I just heard my wife tell him your dad is doing something down there. You better be quiet. Yeah, see, he know. See, that's another life lesson for you guys that ain't a father yet. Y'all got to instill that in your child. They know you love them, but you got to be able to give them the look. And you ain't even got to touch them. They know to shut what they call, up. But anyway, we've been there where they've come to us and say, man, yo, I'm glad you said that. I just had a beef about that upstairs in a meeting. We're just telling y'all what we know. But again, like I said, some people choose to think it's not, man. Now, what are the devs responsible for? Whatever they produce in the game, whatever came out in Madden 20, devs are responsible for that. Y'all are responsible for the features you introduce, how well they play, bugs, blah, blah, blah. What we're talking about when we say the devs are hindered is, I'm telling y'all, man, as God is my witness, I have no reason to lie. Listen, me and Smitty sitting here complaining about the same game. So what reason do we have to defend anybody? As God is my witness, I'm telling you, these dudes literally have conversations with us like, man, we got to get this in the game. Smitty knows we've been out to dinner with these cats, kicking it. Develop real relationships, not just in that build. I mean, after we break for the day, we hanging with them. And they, as disgusted as we are, like, man, see, we just don't have this in the game right now. We need this, we need that, we need that. But you can only do what your boss allows you to do with the time and resources. Period. So why is Madden in the situation it's in? Bingo. Some of you guys hit it on the head and y'all don't even know why you hit it on the head. Everybody always says, oh, it's money. Yeah, but this is the real reason. It ain't that they're not capable, but the money, because they're the only guy in town, they could do like this. Kick their feet up and say, oh, we'll fix it, man. That's not important. That's literally it. There's nothing forcing them. So they're going to do it at their own pace. They may throw the devs a bone from time to time. All right, go. Yeah, y'all can do this first. Okay, well, if you can do this, and then you can come back and you can get your little fundamental feature. That's how it works. They sneak stuff in. I'm telling y'all this for a fact. They sneak stuff in. They sneak stuff in as they're developing something else. And that's just how it works. So like I said, it has to come from the top. They could if they would have, listen, Rex Dixon told y'all on Twitter, in a stream, I went in there trying to promote fixes. I told him we need to rip a lot of this code out and build it back from the ground up. And as far as what we have here, we need to recode it so it plays out the way it needs to do. No, that takes too much time. We don't have time to do that. But we do need to get this, though. Because everybody likes that. That's fun. Now, is Madden all bad? Some people would say yes, but I say no. Because, like I said, there's football in the game, but it doesn't feel like that to us all the time because of those moments, right? It's that moment when I saw somebody say in the chat, and this happens all the time. It's that moment when you see your man, right? He got a 3, 4, or 5 yard step. You try to get the ball out quick. Boom! You throw a bullet because you just happen to hold the button down, and the guy's able to undercut it and pick it. In APF, guess what? You don't have to remember to hit the bumper to throw it high. All you do is press up on the stick, and he gon' even a bullet, he gonna throw that thing up. The trajectory. To me, that's how it should have been designed from the first place. I understand what you're trying to do with the low pass, high pass. But look, the reason why I've thrown a lot of picks in Madden is because I'm trying to trust my eyes. I'm that crazy guy who still plays Madden with my eyes. I'm playing football. What I'm seeing developing and then realizing you can't do that in Madden. Are you crazy? Sometimes it works. But you can't. And again, I've always said, this is the same thing, Smitty, you've heard me say this about NBA 2K when I'm always beefing about the passing, without using the icons. I've gotten better at it, but I'm like, man, sometimes you don't have time to pull the icon. It's a quick, you just see something, boom, you want to do it quick. You don't always have time to, icon 8. No, I see him in the hole, bam, I want to hit him right then. That's how it is with Madden. I see the whole shot. I want to just throw a quick bullet in there, and I forget to always take this finger and hold the trigger. And then y'all know what happens even when you do the high pass, right? Safety gets over there, and here comes the two-man animation. He goes up, stretches out because the ball is high, and then you get that little hiccup, and then they collide, and the ball pops out. The non-organic one. When the game used to have organic knockouts. Y'all remember that? Even on this gen. See? So, that's all I wanted to say. I went a little too far with the talent gap, but at the end of the day, again, it's not my job to make people follow what I say, believe what I say. I'm just trying to tell y'all what we know from being on the inside, man. That's it. Last thing I will say is one guy, and I think it was Nick, and shout outs Nick. Nick said he's a diehard Steelers fan, so you know you always welcome here, brother. He says NCAA 14 is still the best ever, or something to that effect. I'm not taking that thunder away from you, Nick, or anybody else, because I know a lot of people say that they love, they love NCAA, but you know what I really think it is with that? A little bit. It's a college experience. You know, it was just a little different. The atmosphere, I always liked the atmosphere in NCAA. You hear the bands and the drums, and I love the dynasty mode and all of that. And it's a little looser game because it's replicating college, and it's way more teams. And I love coaching carousel and all that stuff. I get all of that. But at the surface, that gameplay was the same issues that we have in Madden. Same issues. Did it possibly do some things a little better? Perhaps. But it was the same problems that we all had with Madden that year. You see what I'm saying? So I really feel like the NCAA thing is just nostalgia. And again, that's not a knock on any of you guys. I'm just saying, I think that's part of it. We don't have it no more. Because think about this, when you got mad at Madden, you pop NCAA and just play something that feel a little better to you for whatever reason. Or it allowed you to take your mind off of Madden for a while. And it's not here anymore. So I think that's the reason why a lot of people will say, man, NCAA was the greatest. Now, even when Rex said that, Rex wasn't just talking about just gameplay. He was talking about that game as a whole. So that's my little 2 cents, man. Let me make sure I didn't have anything else, Smitty, before we move on. I mean, definitely if you want to comment on something, but let me make sure. Did I have anything else? No, I don't have nothing. Go ahead.
Okay. No, I'll just say that, you're right with that nostalgia and with NCAA, because there were a good number of people that were straight razzing on that game when it was out.
All day.
And now they're all in, like loving it and everything. Like, oh, yo, this game is tight. And this, that, third. And it's like, bro, the game's no different. It's just that there's no new game. You know what I'm saying? You don't have a replacement, because I guarantee, just like I've said about 2K football, let there be a brand new 2K football that's simulation. I guarantee there's going to be a plethora of videos talking about, all pro football will get ripped to shreds. You know what I'm saying? Like, they're going to be like, make sure you do this. Don't do that. This was bad. This was bad. This was good. This was bad. So, we appreciate it because it's gone. So now it has a lot more value to it, so.
Oh, I know what else I was going to say. I just remembered, and you're right about that, man. Way more value now. Yep, I fully agree with that assessment. I know what I was about to say, and I don't want to slip up and say something I ain't supposed to, so I won't. But the funny thing is, let me say it like this. There's been things, man, like I told y'all. I've literally seen features taken out of the game that was supposed to come to the game that you guys never heard of. And it's exactly what I was just telling y'all. Somebody makes a call. Oh, we don't have enough dev time to finish this, and it was in the plans. And I'm not talking about that it was just talked about. These things were in the plans in the original presentation that was shown to us, saying, all right, this is what we're doing this year. This is what we need your feedback on. We're going to show you little clips of how it looks. You're going to play test today. It's early. So, the builds are broken and all that, but we'll be able to, some of this stuff actually isn't fully in yet. We're still working on it. That type of stuff. And as the cycle goes on, it's gone. And you ask the dev, like, yo, what happened?
Yeah.
We ain't gonna be able to finish it. It ain't priority. Remember I always say that to y'all, priority. I always say that. That if y'all don't listen to anything I ever say, listen to that. EA Tibble runs off of what they deem as priority. That is it, and it's. I get it, guys. We're all passionate about not only football. Let's be honest. We all passionate gamers. We want our games to be a great experience, and we love football. So that's that game that we just want to be the game. Do y'all know how much it pisses me off to be playing my league in basketball instead of Madden when I'm a football guy?
Right.
Oh man, like the old folks would say, that grinds my gears.
Yeah.
Bruh, y'all have no idea. So I get it. But I just want y'all to just look at the reality, man. Y'all, you can literally stop saying, why isn't this? Why isn't that? We're telling you why. Until they feel not development team. I'm talking about new features, fixes, cleanup. Until they decide certain things are priority. We're going to be talking about the same thing over and over and over and over and over. And it's really up to us whether we're going to play the game or we're not. It's just, I hate to sound that vague about it, but again, that's why I tell y'all, that's why I'm not the guy making the videos. Oh, why is this suck? None of that is going to, it's not, I mean, I'm not going to say it won't help. Because, of course, if you keep poking a bear, but I don't think we need to do that. We've been down that road. And so I think that's fair to say that. We don't need to do that, man. We've been in this thing, what? My first video was in 2009, man.
Right.
I mean, we've been down with EA, quote unquote, down, affiliated since 2012. It's the equivalent of, I always like to use different examples. Y'all know, if you're a hip hop fan, right? Certain shows you go on, you gotta rip the mic when you're in there. You have to. But certain artists that come, they ain't making them rap. You ain't asking Hove, you ain't asking Jay-Z to spit a freestyle because he at your ready. Fam, he ain't gotta do that. You know what I'm saying? You ain't asking, you know what I mean? You're not asking legends. T.I. somebody come. You're not expecting them to spit a freestyle. Now, if they want to, and shout outs to Smitty and in Detroit and Michigan, cat like Royce the Fire. Now I come through, even though he's a veteran. Roy's spitting for you. Like, that's just him. That's just in his nature. You ain't gotta ask him. He'd be like, yo, cut a beat on. That's just Royce. Them cats in Detroit are a little different. Like they hungry like that. I mean, that's. Now, I don't know if M freestyling, but he might. But a guy like Royce is going for it. But what I'm saying is a legend, again, Eminem, he do an interview. Ain't nobody expecting him to spit a rhyme. He ain't got to do that. We know he can rap. And that's how y'all should feel about us. We ain't got to kick and scream. Y'all know what we about. So, just come on, man. Stop asking. And I'm only saying it because I still get these questions. Smitty, man, why you ain't saying it like that? Fam, go do your homework. Ain't nobody. I tell you. And shout outs to 2K football now, man. Listen, has helped me get back on APF. And with the emulator on the PC, I'm having a wonderful time just getting clips. I got way more videos to turn out, man. I just haven't been on my grind, but I only bring that up because it's people who have literally sent me DMs and stuff. You should have been showing APF. I'm like, really? You telling me that? Smitty, they can't be telling me that.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I know. That's what I'm saying.
Check the history, dog. That's all I'm saying.
You gotta look in the backlog, man. You gotta look in the backlog. Like,
come on, man. But again, it's not to say, oh, we to be all end all be all. No, we're just saying, look, me and Smitty got a lot of tread. I mean, we got a lot of miles on these tires, man. We put the work in. So we could do it like this and just complain on our podcast. We ain't got to make kicking and screaming videos because we already connected. We don't have to do all that. But yeah, I'm just saying, man. That's all I got on Madden, man. Listen to what we tell y'all. It's a show and prove to us. That's how we approaching it. I'm not getting hyped over nothing until we test this game out and see what they talking about. Until then, I have nothing to say. Now, we might have something to say here soon, Smitty, when they, start talking about Madden as far as what features they're bringing and the franchise and anything. But I'm talking about just what we think about the game. Y'all gonna have to wait till we can touch it to tell you that. Because we're looking for key things to be addressed. And if they're not, it's gonna be much of the same. That's just the reality.
Right. So that's what I'm saying. Look, are we looking to seeing what they show in June to be like, this is it? Oh man, time to get amped up and hyped. No.
Never.
You know what I'm saying? like no. It's like because we gotta remember this at the end of the day. We've been to the studio, like for example, Madden 16. Okay. Madden 16. We was in the studio, me, Sim, and first it was me and Sim, and we was like, yo, we got to get AZ in here. He needs to see this. We get AZ in the building. AZ sees it. We're playing it. We're like, yo, this gameplay, don't touch it. Leave it the heck alone. This is fine, right where it is. The year before that, Madden 15, we was in the studio. Me and Sim in there, talking to Vic Lugo. Shout out to my man, Vic. And he was like, well, our guy, Vic. But the point is, the man was in there. He's showing us the gameplay. We was liking how the physics were. Even the passing in there, because that was like one of the big things that they were working on was the passing. And having quarterbacks feel different, and the passing was so much better. I'm like, they got something. What ends up happening? Tournament guys got in their feelings about the way the game was playing. Then they reverted it back. Madden 16 game comes out. People, they didn't want to listen to what Rex said. Rex straight told you, learn how to play the receiver instead of trying to play the ball. Learn to hit X and square instead of hitting triangle all day, triangle and Y all day. Dudes, they didn't want to listen. What ends up happening? Rex has bosses. Bosses come down, you got to roll it back. You got to make it easier. You got to balance the playing field. I mean, don't get me wrong. As a Lions fan, I appreciate that because my secondary was not that good at all. But at the same time, the game got jacked up. I'm like, no, this game was good. Like, even though we ain't with the two-man can animations, but still, it was like y'all had something good and it was ruined. And so it's like, when it comes to this game and the improvements we need to see happen across the board when it comes to this game, everything, the point is, it's all a wait and see. We literally have to wait and see. We got to get our hands on the sticks to truly be able to say, hey, this game is on point or not. Because whatever they show us, I don't care if they play a quarter. I don't care if they give us a quarter worth of gameplay. It's not going to mean a darn thing until the game is in our hands and we're able to actually play it. Because when the game is in everybody's hand, that's when you're gonna see all the people start crying and whining and want changes and all that stuff. They want the game to be wholesale change all of a sudden. So
Yeah.
we'll see what happens. And I seen somebody. I wanted to just say this real quick. Somebody earlier was talking 2K football. Now talking about the passing, the QB throwing animation. They added some of the quarterbacks. They didn't get them all, but they added some of the quarterback animations in 20. But would I give them a higher grade in comparison to All Pro Football? No way. I'm saying 2K, like All Pro Football, still does a better job of replicating all the different quarterbacks, as well as them being able to throw and the trajectories of boot
movement in the
on
pocket,
the circumstance.
Woo.
Oh,
come on, man!
Exactly. Climbing in the pocket and all that stuff is done so much better in APF than it is in Madden.
Yeah, and shout outs to I believe that's JP Davis, man, in the chat. He like he said, he can vouch. He's been down, and that's the thing. Anybody who's been there, you know what we're saying. It's not a matter. Again, I don't want to stay on that because we want to wrap up with the last 10 minutes. We'll talk about Last Dance. It doesn't take long for you to know what the devs want. That's all I'm gonna say. We'll leave it at that. It doesn't take long for you to know that, even from afar. But when you've actually met them. Some people could say, "Oh, they're blowing smoke." No, they're not. They have no reason to. They really don't. Especially the guys I talk to still. I mean, I just talked to a dev a couple of days ago. They have no reason to. Like, it does them no good. But they have the people above them, man. I mean, that's just what it is. So that's why I keep saying we need to try to continue to voice our opinions to the higher ups. And speaking of which, here's a funny thing. Y'all notice I've been doing tweets, and I'll add them to EA Sports, and I'll say things like, "Let the devs be great in Madden." Da 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 da. Y'all know what's funny? Somebody sent me a DM asking me what I mean by that. Somebody from EA. Wasn't a developer either. I'm just letting y'all know, man. That's take that, take from that what you want. Do y'all see my point now? But that's the game I'm fighting. I'm going after now. That's where I'm going. Of course, I still got to be fair. When Madden 21 comes out, there's things I might like, there's things I might dislike, and I will give the blame to the devs accordingly. Even though I'm cool with a lot of them, I still got to be like, hey man, y'all could have did this a different way. But when it comes to next level as their advertising, I know who in charge of that. And it was quite interesting that I got that DM, and I was like, I wonder what that's about. But honestly, I played it coy because I kind of was like, because they basically, oh, what was that? And I said, what you referring to? That tweet? I never got a reply. So I don't know for sure, but just looking at the time, I think I was sent a tweet in regards to my tweet. But no, that's how that go, man. I don't know. But I did want to say this last small thing in a couple sentences, if that. Black Stalk says, in Madden 20, what gameplay aspects do you like? I'm going to give you a very basic answer. I like everything about Madden 20 minus the forced animations. I think I could sum it up there.
Yeah.
Now, does the game need stuff? Of course. Like Brooklyn Bully said, the trenches. Oh, come on. They ain't touched the trenches in 6 years, and come on.
Yeah.
Yes. So don't take my words wrongly when I say I like everything except, of course, there's still missing things. Me and Smitty told y'all tonight what they're missing. But Madden, I will continue to say this. Madden 20 would not be a horrible game if it wasn't for the forced situations. It wouldn't. It wouldn't. I mean, the game has its moments. Most of you guys who play it would probably say, oh, sometimes it has its moments. But it's too much of the animation override in terms of two-man animation triggers.
What's this? The new card?
Warping.
Oh.
If you take those things out of the game, even if physics wasn't fully respected as of yet, if you take away the forced animations and forced dice rolls, we ain't talking as bad about Madden 20. We would probably still be saying, man, I wish they could just make it a little more physical. But that's the biggest problem with the game. AI got some issues too in coverage and such. But for the most part, the game is not, to me, it's not horrible. Except when those things happen. And it just kills your immersion. It kills your feeling when those things happen. When them certain interceptions happen where your receiver automatically turns into a defender without even fighting for the ball. Those type of things. Or the two-man animation when they warp together about 5 yards to play. Those things. That's what I'm talking about. If you get that out of the game, if it played more, loosely, like I've shown you examples in APF, even with the current state of it, much better game.
That's better game.
And of course, franchises, don't get me started with that. We know the depth ain't there. I mean, come on. I'm just talking about on the field. Y'all know I ain't happy with. Listen, I live in my league. That's where my franchise, my itch is fulfilled there. Last thing, Smitty, before we wrap up. I told y'all, man, I hate talking about Madden because we done killed the whole show with Madden. Man, I'll share my quick thoughts. I'm going to be brief, really, really brief with this because then I want to ask Smitty what he thinks as far as what stood out the most. I'm loving the Last Dance documentary, man. Let me say this, and I know this is going to ruffle feathers. Can we stop the comparisons, please? Like, God, and y'all know I said this way before this Jordan doc. First of all, why do we have to compare everybody to Jordan? Why does LeBron have to be Jordan? Why does Listen, I'll say this once, and I've said this a million times, but this is the last time I'm going to say it. In my opinion, Kobe Bryant is the closest thing I've seen to Michael Jordan because of his mentality. That's what I'm talking about. And his play. Obviously, he patented his game behind Jordan. But Kobe was the closest to that Mamba mentality. How he'll bully teammates. Trashed. That's Jordan.
Yeah.
LeBron James, which I still think is one of the greatest players we've ever seen, whether you hate him or love him, he ain't have that. I'm not sure if he still has it. LeBron didn't have that. I said that from rip when he first came in the league. Now, to his credit, LeBron is a facilitator more than Mike was. Did y'all hear when Mike said that he basically, or Scotty, one of them said, they basically had to teach Mike how to be a team player. He had to learn how to not put everything on his shoulders. LeBron's game was totally different from the rip. He was always willing to pass. So, even with that right there, that comparison, you just can't do it. Let all of them be great. We don't have to say who was the greatest. Michael Jordan is the greatest basketball I've ever seen. I'm sorry. And y'all can agree with me or disagree with that, whatever. If you love LeBron, haha, I'm happy for you. If you love Kobe, which I love too, great. If you love Magic, whoever it is. But to me, Michael Jordan was the truth. But real quick, as far as the doc, Smitty, man, maybe we can wait even until we see this one, and maybe next week we'll come back and give our full thoughts. But the thing that stuck out to me the most was Scotty. Man.
Yeah.
Bruh. Scotty, on 2 occasions, Scotty said, I'm going on vacation. I ain't getting no surgery right now. And I'm going to, whatever. I'm going to force them to pay. Listen, from a trying to get paid aspect, I get it. But, like, wow, bro. Like, you kind of being a little selfish in regards to the team. But I'm not going to blame a man for doing what he has to do for his money. And for whatever his decision is, that ain't my decision. It ain't my life. There you go. But then the second occasion, Smitty, when my man was so upset that they called to play for Tony Kukoc, he literally doesn't go back in the game. I completely forgot that. Or maybe at that time I was just much, much younger and I wasn't paying attention. But wow, Scotty. And here's the funny thing. Tony hits the shot. And here's what's even worse. You get an opportunity right now to say, my bad. My man Scotty said, look, I'll do it again.
Yeah, that's...
Yo, that tells me a lot about Scotty right there. And again, listen, I don't know this man. I'm not going to... You see the Twitter warriors, man. I don't understand why people do that. Like, we don't know these people. Why everybody got something to say? But... wow, Scotty. From that standpoint, that gave me a little peek into your character as I don't know. That's a little weird, but those things stood out, man. I don't want to disrespect the doc and try to fit everything into the last few minutes, so I'll say I'm going to table a lot of my thoughts. We'll definitely get into it next week.
We'll definitely talk about it next one. Yeah,
but
dive in full.
Oh, here's one other thing.
Mm-hmm.
Your man Michael Jordan got choked up and was about to cry talking about how competitive he is. Come on, man. That right there, bruh. I have never seen that before. This dude was literally about to cry about his passion for the game, his competitiveness. Mike was that dude, man. May not have been the best, mentality to deal with, but Mike was a different animal. I'm sorry.
Yeah, but and just to say real quick, like I said, not gonna jam pack everything, but the moments that stuck out to me, number one was the 93 finals against the Sun. I mean, not Sonics, against the Sun, because when people try to bring up, they try to bring up Draymond, and Draymond talking about, oh, he's better than Barkley and all that. It's like, a lot of people got a history lesson. You got to see Barkley. I mean, he was balling out. And it's like, bruh, if you really saw this dude play, this dude was balling. I mean, he was a bad man. And that's the thing. Yeah. You had others that were out there like him. So it's not like he was an oddity.
Barkley is one of my favorite players, by the way, in case anybody didn't know that. He's one of my favorite players of all time.
Yeah. Like, now somebody I grew up idolizing as well.
Oh, my God.
Like, basketball
undersized. Oh, this dude.
Yeah.
Come on,
short, 6'3", 6'4", power forward.
Come on, man.
Balling out the way he was balling.
Sir Charles was that dude. Y'all need to go back and watch. Sir Charles was the man out there.
Yeah, he was working it out there. There was that. But the point about, I would say this about 90, that season, that 98 season. Well, that 97-98 season. And Pippen sitting out. Pippen had been underpaid the majority of his career.
Yeah. Horribly underpaid.
Yeah, so it's like for him to basically sit back and be like, I'm a cruise. I can understand why he cruised. Because he been severely underpaid the whole time. Jordan got his bread, but Pip got played.
Yeah. So
I can understand that. But the one other thing I will say is, well, two things. Number one, when you reference Kobe Bryant, I know the comparisons are always going to be there because those top guys are in that conversation. Because, whenever the season goes on, Jordan did this, Kobe did that. So that's always going to be there. But the key thing Kobe said, without Jordan, I got no rings.
That right there.
That's it.
That was huge.
He could have been over there with Shaq and everything. He ain't winning none of that stuff without Jordan's tutelage. I'm not getting any of that. That's number one. Number two, this is the key reason why I'll be saying LeBron, all that, trying to make people try to put LeBron up there like he's that guy. You can't. You look at all his teammates, when they talked about how Jordan, he's this tyrant, he's this guy, he's that guy, he's all these things. What did all of them say? From both sets of teams, that 91 through 93 team, and then that those guys and the 96 and 98. Hey, we got that ring though. Hey, you know what?
There you go.
It worked.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, and even Bill Wennington said when Jordan left, he was like, man, we missed that rough edge. We kind of need you know what I'm saying? It's like you miss getting poked around by Jordan. It's like, yeah, we had fist fights. Yeah, it got real in there. But this is what got us to that point. So, yeah, you can't get mad at somebody who went after it that hard. And I'm sorry, it was proven. I mean, look, you saw him on the set of Space Jam. I'm inviting all y'all out on purpose.
Oh my God.
Like,
how crazy.
Yeah. Like, I'm shooting this film. I got my gym set up, hanger and everything, and I'm studying what these young cats is doing. Like, he ain't bring you out just because he's like, oh, okay, I want to see what's up. So I got to make sure that my game is on point. So then when it comes time to the season, that's what I'm saying. That whole different stratospheric level when it comes to Jordan. Different level. It's got nothing to do with the era. It's just he's just a completely different type of character
different
across
dude,
the
man.
board.
Yeah.
You can't put LeBron or anyone in that stratosphere unless they literally are a carbon copy like that or better. So that's it. He commanded all of that. And that's why he got what he got. So yeah. I'm just going to stop at that. But I know, there's plenty more.
We're going to go in because I know there's going to be more. We
would have seen.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because there's some stuff to talk about. There's some stuff to definitely talk about from this thing here.
And that
there's some stuff to talk about.
Another thing, man, that's crazy about him is like, again, I'm not saying you got to love him. Some people probably get turned off by finding out how he was. But, man, I have to respect a dude who's like, Jordan didn't think nobody was a threat. Like, what he said about Drexler when he was like, okay, don't get it wrong. He was a threat. He was good. But when they started trying to compare him to me, like, yo, Jordan was like, now, come on, y'all going a little too far now. He ain't me. And then when Magic said was like, yo, you know what? He told him the night before, you know what I'm going to do to you, boy. And did it. And then what he said about Gary Payton.
The threes.
Oh, man. Yeah. He said, man, the glove won't no problem. I'm thinking about my dad. My mind ain't right. Yo, that Jordan ain't care, man. But backed it up. That's the thing. He backed it up.
Yup. Backed it all up.
He was the man. That's something you ain't going to see again. Not like that.
And then even the point with B.J. Armstrong. They won that one. And I think this was within the last season, these last two episodes. He won one game when he was on the Hornets. And he scored those buckets or whatever. And then he went ahead and yelled toward Jordan and all them cats getting all amped. And Glenn Rice was like, man, look what you did.
Why did y'all do that?
Yeah. He's like, he got enough fuel and ammunition. Why you give him more? He don't need a reason. And then you saw him he's in the locker room with that baseball bat. The cigar is in his mouth before the game. You want to talk about that smack? talk that smack when it's 0-0. Now, that was one thing when you up by 5, 6, 7 points.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, Smitty. I almost forgot. I love that part. He said, now, that's when you down and talk. That's when you... Easy to talk when you up. Yo, come on, man. MJ was that dude, man. I'm sorry.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Wow.
That's the stuff. That's the stuff right there that puts him on a whole different stratosphere in comparison to other guys. And that's why you can't make that comparison and say, LeBron and all that stuff. It's like, no, it's not about the day and age of it. It's just the mentality of the player.
Jordan was special, man.
Yeah, and I'll just say this, and then you can close it off. But it's all about the mindset you come into the game with, because it's just like this. When the Pistons won in '04, they played a style of basketball that the whole league was indifferent to. They were about playing team defense, slowing the game down, not running, not trying to run and gun. They didn't have superstars on their team. What was the thing about the league at that point in time? You had to have at least 2 superstars, and you got to be able to run and gun. And it was like people were saying that locally and nationally, like, oh, well, the Pistons aren't this run and gun team, and because they can't run and gun, they're not going to be able to hang, and they're not going to be able to. And then look what they did. They held teams under 70. They had a stretch of like 10 or 11 games, held teams under 70 points. They ended up coming out the East. They fought through, nearly shut the Lakers out. If it weren't for Kobe hitting a buzzer beater in Game 2 and taking it to overtime, in which they won, dude, we would have swept them.
Shaq was on that team or no? I can't remember.
Yeah, Shaq was there. Yeah,
yeah, because
that was when they had Shaq and Peyton and Malone was injured.
I remember Shaq said they want focus because they remember when him and Kobe did their thing and he was like, "Come on, Ben Wallace, that's barbecue chicken."
Oh, yeah.
I was like, man, don't play Ben Wallace like that, man.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm like, okay, yeah, he wasn't focused. I'm like, yeah, I don't want to hear that garbage. They weren't winning that. So, but see, that's that competitive thing. Just like with Jordan, like you said about the Gary Payton. Technically, when Gary Payton was switched up on Jordan and he was working him, Jordan did average 6 or 7 less points in the 3 games when Payton was on him. But that competitive mentality, oh, this cat can't guard me.
Yeah.
He ain't, come on now. He can't do nothing to me. So I understand. But that's the whole point. It's all about the mindset of the player and then putting in the work. That's what Kobe said if you watched when Kobe did his interviews with Matt Barnes and Steven Jackson. He said when he came in, he was like, bruh, these guys, they do not work hard at all. Like, they are not practicing like that. Like, they're not doing any of that. So Kobe came in and he worked. And that's what I'm saying. It's like he did what many others would not do. And then you had the ultimate tutelage with Jordan. So it's like if you take it straight from him and you were a high school kid.
Yeah, like, I mean, exactly. I knew they had a relationship, but I didn't know that Jordan was literally, showing him the ropes. Like Kobe was like,
gave him the game.
I wanted to know about his shot. I asked him, and he told me. Like, that's... Yeah. But see, and again, maybe he doesn't come off as a brash guy, and I can't, change anybody's opinion. But even something like that, to see that he took Kobe in like that, he personally, he can't be the worst person. He's probably not the best guy, But again, maybe like he said, he's, from what he said in the documentary, look, there was a price to pay. And all I ever tried to do was get my guys to my level. Because all it meant to me was winning. And if y'all weren't playing where I was at, then whatever.
Right.
And that's just going to rub some people the wrong way. It just, it's a price.
Yeah.
But, yeah, man, we got a whole lot. I can't wait to see these last 2 episodes.
Yeah.
And we're going to dive way deeper into that.
That's going to be the number 1 topic. You know what I'm saying? We're going to swan dive. We're going to dive into all this. The Last Dance, definitely get into all of that. So that's going to be a big piece right there.
One question for you before you go.
Yeah.
Who comes off the dream team if Isaiah makes it? Because wasn't somebody like Leighton or somebody on that team?
Yeah,
too?
like that's what I'm saying.
So you get one of them dudes out of because I couldn't remember, was it a requirement that they had to have like a unpro guy?
I think it is, but no, Mullen could go. But I mean, like they usually have Chris like Mullen, 1 or 2 like rookies or something like that, or somebody that's about to be drafted or just got drafted, and then they put them on the team. But
I
would have took Mullen off of there.
Until you said that, I never thought about that. You look at everybody else on that team. Mullen was nice in his heyday, but
he was nice, but not over no Zeke.
Nah, he want that. Yeah.
Okay. Zeke busted all them cats too, so it's like, nah, you know.
Yeah, Zeke should have been on there, but I do believe this. I don't think it was just Jordan though. I do have a feeling that it was everybody that he kind of had an issue with that he played. You know, Magic might won't feeling it at the time. Bird, you know, I believe that. I believe it was a collective like, yo, nah, the chemistry ain't gonna be right or something. But
it was a collective. It had to be. It wasn't just one person.
Like, he should have been on that squad though, man.
Yeah, he should have.
He should have been on that squad.
I mean, you think about it. They needed this was like the debut of the NBA stars being a part of Olympic basketball. And when you got somebody coming through like Isaiah that was a trouble guy and basically had static with these core guys, Larry Bird, Magic, Jordan, you know, all those guys, they're gonna be like, yo, I ain't messing with this cat. If he on the team, I may have to reconsider or something like that. Yeah. Or they felt a certain way. I know Pippen did, so it's like all these dudes feel this way. Okay, yeah, we're gonna have to. Mullen, come on. Sorry, you're gonna have to stay home, you know, Zeke and but otherwise, no, he should have been on the squad.
Poor coach, man. They just
oh man.
Look, I wasn't mad at that either. See, we about to go into too much.
Yeah,
man,
I know.
But I seen people on Twitter, man, that's messed up. Look, bro,
that ain't messed
me
up.
and Smitty on the squad, we know we doing our thing, and then our owner ain't trying to get us straight.
Yeah,
and he out here talking about I'm in love with this. Yeah, okay, all right, bring him in.
We just won the championship.
Yeah, okay,
and that's what you doing? Like, oh, all right.
Let's see what he really about. Yeah, come on. Come on.
Every time he get the ball, I got him. Don't worry.
I can see me now in football. If my coach, I'd be like, Coach, I'm blitzing every play. I don't care. I am hitting him on every play. We gonna see what he about. Man, I ain't mad at that, man. They went at him, yo. You supposed to be the man. But in all, I think it probably helped him though at the end of the day. So, wow.
Yeah, I mean, he played. They met him in the championship, and he did play better.
Played a little better.
I know we got to get going.
Yeah, I can't. I can't wait to talk about that.
We going in, man.
Unless there's some gaming stuff next week, we'll definitely lead with this either way. But yeah. Because by that time it'll be over. Because I do kind of want to see, as an up and coming, I want to see if there's any question to him about, was that a push off?
Oh,
he pushed off, bro. I'm sorry.
No, I don't think he did.
Man, Smitty, listen. It won't. I'll say this. I never felt like it should have got called. Like, I don't think it was, because that's how the game was played kind of then. You can touch people and all that. But he pushed Byron Russell, man. It was a little, it was enough of a nudge.
Nah. Look,
he took his hand and
he didn't push it, man. He didn't push it.
Oh, he pushed him, man.
He didn't push.
Yeah, he did.
You would have seen that he would have had to have flexed some kind of muscle. You would have saw it in his arm if he pushed.
It was slight. It was slight.
Push.
I'm telling you.
Nah, he didn't do it.
Jordan.
I wanted Utah to win. Trust me. I wanted Utah to win. So it was like, I was looking at that play like, yo, I was like, oh, dang, no, he didn't. Even back then, I was like, I wanted him to know,
man. And I'm not mad at it at all. I just think it was the perfect marriage of crossover, and my hand just happened to be moving that way, and I just nudged him just a bit. Just enough. It was, like I said, I probably wouldn't have called it.
I don't know, man. It's. I know that's going to be talked about.
I hope so. I hope they go into it.
I seriously hope they do.
Yeah.
But he didn't push. Like, at the end of the day, it was not a push. If anything, if he grazed him, but he ain't grazed him to throw him off like that.
Yeah, I think
that's a bit drastic.
Most of it was the crossover.
Flying.
Yeah, it was mostly crossover because of the way he reacted. But it looked like he gave a little, just a little pat, and held that thing. Like,
Yep.
storybook ending, man. I wish he would have just left right then. Because I forget all about everything else. I don't even remember. I try not to remember the Wizards and all that. He should have just left like that, and boom. Now he said made the shot, ball don't like. No, you're right. Because listen, I was a Jordan fan. You know, it's the same way as I liked Kobe. So when my Sixers rarely was involved. We did play them one time in the finals, but whenever my Sixers ain't have a shot at no chip or whatever, I'd root for Kobe. You know, I liked Kobe. There's a lot of players that I liked watching, so I wasn't a fan of the team. So obviously then I loved Jordan. So I was like, yo, get another chip. Why not? I liked him versus Utah. Even though no shade to Malone and Stockton, it's just that Utah just they want a team that I was interested in. So I didn't mind seeing. I kind of wanted to see history. I wanted to see, wow, did they actually three-peat twice? Right. So I did kind of want to see that happen. So I was happy it happened. But I still say he gave a little nudge. A little nudge, man. But I ain't mad. Hey, if they don't call it, it ain't a foul, bro. I ain't mad. But all right, man, we'll get into it next week because I really hope they discuss that. I really hope that question comes up. Maybe it would be classic if they get him. If they get Russell. Yeah.
Yeah, they get Russell to talk about it. Like, that'd be perfect. So.
Oh, yeah, I was like that with the Magic, too, Romel. I loved Penny. Penny was dope.
Oh, yeah.
Man, what? I can't remember. Was it injury? Why did he retire so soon? Injuries, right?
No, it was injury. Injuries.
That's what I thought. Man, Penny.
The way Penny was playing?
Oh, my God.
That's it. Penny and Grant Hill were next.
Oh, my God. Oh,
they were next.
Grant Hill. Oh, my God.
Oh, man.
No injury. Man. If Grant Hill would have just had a solid 10-piece, man, now we talking.
Easily next. He busted. They had to play him like how they did with Kukoc. They was like, hey man, look, Jordan, we gotta get this cat because Jordan Pippen tried to face him up, he couldn't face him up, that crossover. Jordan tried to face him up. He got sliced by him. Now he didn't do no AI, but he did slice Jordan.
My man.
To the rack. And then he put him in the post. Jordan got his post-up game. Okay, Grant got it too. He's shown these cats, and this dude was only a few years in the league.
Penny
and he was
so
balling.
Nice.
But Penny though.
Penny and Grant Hill. You right. Grant was that guy, man.
That's what I said. They were the next two. Those guys were the complete future of the NBA until they both got them injuries. But Penny, oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Penny, that guy was the mix of everything. That's LeBron James before LeBron. And without, I mean, he doesn't have the brute force, but I'm saying the game, like he can pass, he can shoot, he can dunk, he can slash, he could do everything and defend well, all of that.
Penny was nice, man.
Penny was
wow, that was great basketball back there.
That is a penny to coin.
All right, guys, we're gonna get up out of here, man. We'll holler at y'all next week. Please be safe. Like Smitty said, listen, I know everybody's partially reopening, man, but just be smart. Just be smart. If you're gonna go out, mask up, things like that. Just hold out for a little bit longer, man. Just this will pass if everybody just do what they're supposed to. So hope everybody's well. We'll say good night.
That's Sim.
God bless.
Hi, Sam.
Hey, Haley, how you doing? Huh? You didn't know I knew your name, did you?
Fine.
Fine. You getting really, really big.
You getting big. Yeah.
So, all right, guys, we're gonna go. We will see y'all later. Have a good week.
Yep.
A good week. Well, a good weekend, and stay safe. And we'll be back with you guys next week.
Peace. All right. Peace.